Good evening, everyone. We're so happy to have our Monday night motivation Zoom. And tonight we have a special guest. Her name is Melissa Collins. And Melissa, she's waving there. She's an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. And I had heard her story before, I think just floating around on Facebook. And then we went to convention in June, and they had a special thing just for senior rubies and above. And they chose Melissa to speak and share her story about her journey to Emerald. And it was so inspiring and so powerful. And honestly, everyone around me was like, I wish they'd had her speak for the whole big convention, because it really impacts no matter what level you're at. And so she's just a great, sweet girl.
I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, that might have made you a little more nervous, huh?
Yes.
But she did a great job. You could not tell she was one bit nervous on that stage when she shared with, I don't know how many people were in that room. It was a lot of people. But, you know, I mean, hundreds, like, I don't know, there's 400 or 500 jewels, and then there were senior rubies in there too. So that was a lot of people, probably 1,000 people. And she did an amazing job. And then I went to jewel training in July, and she was there. And so I got to meet her in person, and I just fell in love with her heart, because she's just the sweetest mom and Christ follower. And so I just think you guys are going to be really inspired by her story, and she has some great tips for all of us. So I will introduce you to Melissa, and thanks for coming. So I'm just so glad you're here, girl.
You're very welcome, and thank you for asking. I have a face. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. There's a little bit of a delay, so y'all start waving if something goes wrong, and I'll call back in. But there's a funny story. Rebecca, you're gonna make me cry.
Oh, aw.
We all went out to eat when we were in Scottsdale at Jules training.
It's freezing. I don't know if it's my.
I don't know. And can you hear me?
Yeah, it just kept freezing. I don't know if it's my connection or yours, but go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, I wanted to tell them about going out to eat with you. And we were there was like 4 or 5 of us at the end of a table. And we just spent the evening talking and had such a blessed and wonderful time. And I think between us, how many children did we have? 29 and a half?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there 4 of us or 5 of us? I forget.
Yes. Yeah, it was like 5 of us, and between us we had 29 children, and 29 and a half.
Yes.
And so, anyway, I think the funny thing about my story is it's a story about how long it took me to go Emerald. I joined the company in March of 2011, and in 1 year, which back then, when I joined the company, there were only 2,000 people in the company. There were no emeralds or sapphire had not even been created as a rank. It was just emeralds and diamonds. We had no jewels. And there were 4 senior rubies in the company. It was Patty, Sheila, Ronnie, and Deborah Lawson. And so you'll hear those names again if you don't already know them. And they were all senior rubies. And so I came along and I started working the business and really doing well, just because I was so excited and passionate, like some of you new people are. And it took me a year to go to senior ruby. And back then, that was like flying. That was like really, really fast, because we didn't have samples, we didn't have brochures, we didn't have catalogs, we only had the Slim, the Accelerator, the BioCleanse, and the ProBio 5. We only had really 4 products and no tools to really share the products with people. And so going senior ruby in a year was kind of a big deal at back when it happened. And so I thought, okay, I can do this. We're going along good. And it took me 4 more years to go Emerald. And so that's why they had me speak, is because it took me so long. What is wrong with me, right? Why did it take you so long? We see people flying through these ranks and, you know, getting to the jewel ranks fast. And along the way, lots of people passed me, like Sarah Marble, Sarah was a silver when I was a gold. A lot of people, Celeste basically hadn't even been born yet, you know. All these, there's so many people in the company that had not been there before, and I watched them join and then, just soar. And so it was very discouraging along the way. And I got discouraged, but I never gave up. I never quit. I never, even through the discouragement, I continued to do what I needed to do. And I just let my fears get in the way, basically. And I noticed about a year ago, I noticed that I was self-sabotaging my business. When I start getting close to Emerald or close to, some big success, I would decide I needed to redecorate my house, or I needed to spend more time doing this or that, or it seems like I always let projects pull me away from Lexus and what I knew I was supposed to be doing. And so that was an awakening for me to realize that I am actually sabotaging myself. And another thing that I noticed that was a problem was I got content, because being stuck at Senior Ruby is a great place to be stuck. The pay was wonderful, and what a lot of people don't know is that my husband is also a Senior Ruby. And so we had 2 Senior Rubies in the house, and that's a great paycheck. And so I got very content and just really didn't put in the time to do the personal growth that I should have done. And I did a lot of training, but I didn't do a lot of the IPAs, which you teach your team to do, the daily income producing activity, don't you? Yes. And so that was the thing that I would drop whenever I, would realize that, oh my gosh, I'm scared. This could happen, and I'm scared. I really didn't want it to happen. In my mind, I didn't think that I deserved it, or I was good enough to be an Emerald or whatever. And so all this mindset stuff. And so if you're doing mindset training, and if she is trying to take y'all through mindset training, trust me, it is real and it's important. And now that I understand what was wrong with me, there was nothing wrong with me other than right here. It was just my thoughts. And I had to get past me. And that was a big deal.
I think that's a good point, because a lot of times, like, I don't know if you felt like, I don't know, kind of what I'm hearing you say maybe is like you were just afraid of advancing to the next level a little bit, because you would self-sabotage, you'd get yourself busy, and you'd be like, well, this is fine, it's comfortable, and you just couldn't maybe picture yourself. I don't know, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I think sometimes we do that. We can't picture ourselves really at the next level, and so we just make up for it in our mindset, like you said.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I was terrified. I wasn't afraid. I was terrified to go to that next rank, because I just didn't feel like I was worthy to be there, and or that I deserved to be there. And so that was hard for me. But something happened in last October. You don't know, some of you that have been around since last October, we got a new back office. And it was a lot of growing pains. We had shipping problems and logging in problems, and it was a difficult time. Well, I kind of have a big team, and they really leaned on me hard and heavy, and really the demands that were put on me, just because I was the leader, the upline, were really stressful for me. And I had to grow as a person. I had to gain the patience that I probably didn't have before, and so that was a huge deal for me. I finally felt like I was really a leader, because I was able to help and solve these problems. And I would sit on the phone every day waiting for customer service for an hour to pick up, so that I could talk through the 20 issues that my downline had. And I'm sure you had days like that as well. And so those days are long gone. We will never go back there again, Lord willing.
Amber and I have no recollection of that. Amber and I don't remember that, do we?
No.
We're kidding.
Just gonna move on past that one. And so I feel like that grew me as a person. I think it grew character, it built character, it made me feel like, these people really truly need my help. And so that helped a lot. But we went to leadership retreat in October also. and my husband and 6 of my children went with us. I have 7 kids. I don't know if you know that. We live on a farm in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi. And so we don't go much because we have a dairy cow who has to be milked twice a day, and we have pigs that have to be fed. And so we never leave the house. But we were able to go to Washington, D.C. at the leadership retreat as a family. And that was the first time that really ever happened. Sad, I know. But while we were there, I realized right now my kids are 18, 17, 16, 14, 13, and 11. So I really only have 7 more years, right, period. And so my 2 girls are going to be in college next year. And so I realized the window of my kids' childhood was closing fast. Here we were in Washington, D.C. on our first fun family vacation, having a blast. And I realized that I wanted more of this. This is what life is all about. Having fun with your family, spending time with your family. That became my new why. And so when we got home from Washington, D.C., because we drove to D.C. from Mississippi, and it was a 2-day trip there and a 2-day trip back. But we whitewater rafted on the way home. We had a blast in D.C. I mean, it was just the most special, precious family time ever. And I realized that I just wanted more of that. And that became my why. So we came home from D.C., we pulled out the whiteboard. Everybody got assigned all my responsibilities. My husband took over the homeschool, and he only works 3 days a week, so he was able to take over the homeschooling in a very complete way. Not, he just does it all. And I used that time to start working my business. I had got into management mode and helping everybody, and some of you might do that too, where you want to spend all your time with your team and training your team, but you still have to grow your own personal business. And I developed a system that helped my team and me basically start growing again, and it became a duplicatable system. And it's nothing more than the IPAs that you teach all the time, I'm sure, but I just gave it a name and I made it part of our team culture. And so here's how I do it. It's called the Action Stack. Have you heard of it?
No, you told me about it, and I tried to look it up real quick, and I was kind of rushed getting home for my daughter.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't get to look at it, so I'm really anxious to hear about this system.
Okay. Well,
what's it called? Action Stack?
Yes, it's called the Action Stack, and that was inspired by Chris Brogan, who is a business guy that I follow and really like. I'm part of his insiders group or whatever, but so he gets the credit for the name. But I actually built it, and all it is it's a single piece of paper. It's a PDF that tells you what to do every single day. Because how many of us, we have 3 hours, like, okay, what do I need to do? I need to work plexus. What do I do? And everybody spins around like a chicken with their head cut off when really, and so they pick up their phone and they go straight to Facebook looking for someone to help. And that's just not an effective way to really build your business long term, is to scroll through your newsfeed looking for someone to help. And so what I did was just put the income producing activities in the Action Stack. And I'm like, when you have time, these are the things that you need to do. And I'll list them. The first thing is to positive affirmations every single day. I know you all sleep with your phone, every one of you. And so when you pick up your phone in the morning, the first thing I want you to do is pull up your notes tab or where you store things you type and read your positive affirmations. Do not let somebody else's negative text or a customer's negative email or your sister's yay-in through Messenger or whatever. Just do not let somebody else start your day. You decide how your day begins, and that's what the positive affirmations are about. So it's Bible study, whatever you need to do to start your day out positive. That's the first thing, Philippians 4:8. Second thing is wish everybody a happy birthday on Facebook. I know that seems kind of silly, but it's just a way to get conversation started. It's a way to connect with people because there's 1.5 billion people on Facebook, right? It is so hard to connect with people in real life and on Facebook. It's kind of hard to connect and get conversations started. And so the happy birthday thing, I think, is very important. The next thing is to friend 3 new people.
Can I stop you there? Because you gave me a golden tip on my birthday. So I want you to share that with them too.
Okay. Well, on your birthday, we happened to be talking, or I wished you a happy birthday. I can't remember which, but I told her, I said, okay, today's the day that 300 people or more or less are going to come to you and personally wish you a happy birthday. You use that as an opportunity to begin a conversation. It doesn't have to be about Plexus. And so I said probably 100 people are going to be Plexus people, just like it, say thank you and move on. But the people that are on your dream team or your wish list, or the people that you haven't talked to about Plexus yet, use that opportunity to connect with them and start a conversation and just private message them back. Say thank you so much for the birthday wish. How are y'all doing?
Great.
And just get a conversation started. Did you do it? Did it work?
I've done it a little. I still need to go back and do more. I'm like, okay, I've got till the end of August. But I have done it on some. And I think some of the ones that I went back and did that with, they're the ones that like guessed on my drawing for my contest for the guess how many stars there are. So it's getting them to interact, definitely. I think that's a great
idea. And that's what it's always about, is the conversation. And getting that going. So if any of y'all have a birthday coming up, you've got your assignment. Don't plan on going out on your birthday. It's a big work day. Okay, the next thing on the list was friend 3 new people every day. And really you could friend 5 or 10, but you don't want to get in trouble with Facebook. But you're not going to contact people that you friend. Not at all. They're people for next 6 months, next year. These are your future prospects. They're not your prospects for the day. We don't friend people to reach out to them immediately. We friend them to build relationships first, get to know them, then let's reach out to them. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. I started friending other network marketers. I started working my action stack in February of this year. I went Emerald in May. But I started friending network marketers in February, and I didn't reach out to them. I just knew that network marketers like network marketing, and also they're usually positive and motivated people. So it's your one time in life where you get to choose your friends wisely. And so just pay particular attention to the people that you're friending. Well, what's happening is now they're all coming to me and say, hey, I'm in Rodan and Field. Would you look at my stuff? And I'm like, you know what? I would love to, but I'm in Plexus and I'm so loyal. But thank you for reaching out to me. I'm flattered that you would want me to be part of your business. But I've been doing something that's really growing my business. Could I share it with you? And they're like, sure. And I send them the action stack. It's just a 1-page piece of paper. This is what I'm training my team. This is what has caused me to go to the next rank. This is part of our team culture now. It's what we do. And so when they get it, they're like, wow, this is awesome. Thank you so much. So I've just developing a relationship. And I just move on. I never even mention Plexus. I just say, now, first of all, you need to know that this action stack that I do has an audio training that goes with it. And so I go through and explain why we do everything we do on the training. And I can't, how much time do we have here?
However, usually we go about an hour, but you're fine. You're doing great.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to go over. Some people only do 30 minutes. So, and so this audio training is something else that accompanies the PDF file. And so they get to hear all about how I teach my downline to work their business. And it's so simple. So back to the action stack. So after we friend 3 new people, we wish everybody a happy birthday. We contact 5 people a day. Well, that sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But when you have a simple script, especially if you're new, Nicole, you said you joined 2 weeks ago. What'd she say?
Yeah.
5 days.
She's muted here. I'll unmute you. Yeah, 5 days.
5 days.
5 days ago. Okay, great. So this is for you.
And Sarah,
Because imagine you're at the ball field and your friend, an acquaintance, a mom of another child walks up and says, "Hey, I'm doing Pampered Chef, and I just wanted to let you know if you ever would like to, get any Pampered Chef, I'd love to work with you." Would that offend you? If someone walked up, and would you feel like she was being pushy?
Mm-mm.
No. All she's doing is saying, "Hey, I'm doing Pampered Chef. I'd love to be your distributor if you ever, would like to order some products, because we all love Pampered Chef." And so that's all we do with Plexus. We reach out to these 5 people every day and just say, "Hey, this is Nicole," or however you want to reach out to them, via Facebook Messenger, text, whatever is comfortable for you. It could even be by phone. But this is your script. "Hey, I'm doing Plexus. I don't know if you've ever tried it before, but if you would ever like to look at it, I would love to work with you." That's it. We don't send a bunch of links. "Hey, you got to go to my website. You got to check this out. We're running a special. You got to do this, you got to do that." And we don't pile them up with a bunch of links they didn't ask for. You're asking them to use their precious data. We are all data starved. At least I am. I don't know about everybody else. Nothing is unlimited in my life. I'm paying for every bit of it. And so, by not sending them links and sending them a whole bunch of stuff with the first contact, they may reach out and say, "Well, I'm not interested right now, but, I'll think about it." But the thing is, you haven't asked them to do anything. You haven't asked them to click on a link. You haven't asked them to watch a video. You haven't asked them to visit your website. And since you haven't asked anything of them, it doesn't hurt your feelings as much when they don't get back with you, because you didn't ask them to do anything. But what we're sometimes trained to do is ask them to, invest 15 minutes of their time when they don't even have 15 minutes. Watch a opportunity video or something. And it's not something they were interested in. They weren't looking for it. It just, came to them. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't work sometimes, because I think it does, especially if it's a good friend and you're passionate and they want to do what you're doing. But I'm talking about just reaching out to people the first time. Just say, "Hey, I'm doing Plexus." A lot of times people are going to come back and say, "What is a Plexus?" Because they've never heard of it. I still meet people in Mississippi where Plexus grew first, who say, "What is Plexus? I've never heard of it." And so at that point, I say, we have products that are helping people feel better. That's it. Well, because I didn't tell them anything, they obviously desire more information, right? So now they ask, "Well, feel better how?" Well, me personally, I'm sleeping better. I've lost weight. My husband's off medication, or whatever your story is. Now they've asked you, "Feel better how? Tell me more." They want to know more. Yeah. But if they say, "What is Plexus?" and we start telling them what is Plexus, "Oh, it helps blood sugar," and and we list all the things that we know that our wonderful products do, they don't need to ask any more questions. They feel like they know it all now. And so, but if you can just share a little bit at a time, it will create a desire in them to learn more. And I promise you, because when you send somebody a bunch of links and they like you and they don't want to click on those links because they're not interested in anything, it makes them feel bad. Not only does it make you feel bad, it makes them feel bad, because they feel like, "Oh, I love Cheryl, but I hate to disappoint her, but I really don't, I'm not interested in what she's doing, and I really don't have time to watch this video. So I feel terrible, but I don't know what to say or how to respond." And so they don't, and then you feel bad and they feel bad. So just a different take on, it's not always about us, it's about them too. And so if you can put your focus on the person you're sending all the stuff to, and just think about it from where they're coming from. Okay, I could go on for hours. So moving on, what's the next thing on ActionTech? I don't have it in front of me, but let me think about this for just a second. I can pull it up on my computer, y'all. Let's see if I can do this. And I do it every day. I should know what's next.
So positive affirmations is one, wishing happy birthdays, friend 3 to 10, well, 3 to how many ever people every day for the future. I like that point that you made about don't friend them and then immediately reach out to them like, hey, do you want to do Plexus? Because you're right, I think that just shows that like our intentions aren't quite sincere. They're going to think we're trying to sell to them. So I think that's a really wise point to just, really focus on. We always say that and we want to do that, build relationships first, but I think that's a really good example of don't rush to vomit Plexus right away, like just ease into it and build the relationship and make it more about them.
Right. And along the way, you're going to see things in your news feed. They're going to have a birthday. You're going to have a birthday. So there's going to be other opportunities to connect with these people. And so it doesn't have to be in the first week. In fact, and I train the new people as they come in, do not contact them immediately. You work on your warm market first. And so, and over time, if you're a consistent poster, your warm market changes. All those new people become your warm market. They get to know you through Facebook. Right. So the next thing on the action stack is follow up with 2 prospects. And those are people, back to the contact 5 people. On the action stack, it says give them their very own SPP if they show interest. Well, I'm sure you're wondering what is an SPP, right? How many of you raise your hand if you keep up with all your prospects in your phone, your texting, and your messenger? Is that what you do to keep up with the prospects? Nicole, we'll give you a pass, Nicole, because you're new.
I used to do a spiral notebook. Now it's kind of transferred to my phone more, like Messenger and stuff. It's not super organized. If you're going to give me an organizational tip, that would be fabulous.
I will. And this is what SPP stands for.
What are the letters again?
SPP.
Okay, SPT. All right.
No, PP.
Oh, S as in Sam, and then 2 P's as in Paul.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And an SPP stands for a special piece of paper.
Okay.
That's it. And the reason why I did this is because people were losing their contacts. They were losing their leads because they'd be driving down the road. A message comes in, 4 messages come in. Somebody wants a catalog or send me a sample, send me your link. They got lost because nobody wrote it down. And so here's how I challenged my team. If you claim you are trying to help people and you can't even write their name down on a piece of paper, are you really committed to helping people? I mean, let's face it, if you can't have a cute little notebook where you turn pages and have names and, the mother has diabetes or they want to lose weight or, whatever special information about that person, when you talk to them, if you have all that written down just on a 1-cent piece of paper, you're going to be better off connecting. You're going to be able to really connect with them on a real personal level by having that information, on a piece of paper. And so what I use is Steno pads, and I just flip through when it's time to do my action stack and I need to follow up with some people. Those are the people I follow up with. It's who I've reached out to and they've shown some interest. If they haven't said no to me, they go in my notebook. Basically, everybody's a prospect. Because even if they have said no, usually no means not now. And so I am signing up people, and I have people that have signed up recently in my downline that I've been talking to since I joined the company 5 years ago.
Wow.
I've had here's another one. I've had people join, go away, and come back and rejoin. And so it just happened. And so, can y'all,
Let's see if I can
hear you there?
Okay. I got it.
Okay. All right. That was weird. Okay. So follow up with 2 prospects is the next thing on the list. And those come from your SPPs, your pieces of paper. The next thing is post on Facebook 3 times a day, personal, business, motivational, and tell a story. You know, people love stories, and now that we have the before and afters, we kind of feel like we're back in business. And y'all, I'm preaching to the choir here because I am a terrible Facebook poster. Hi, my name's Melissa. I'm a terrible Facebook poster. I'm just not good at it. It is such a chore for me. I want to spend all my time in my team pages and messaging people, and I just don't groove on it. So do that. Post on Facebook regularly. And the more personal, the better. You know, the more genuine you are, the more people, you know all that. I'm sure Rebecca has been teaching y'all all of that. And so just do what she
post
says.
consistently, right? That's the big one. Post.
It is. It really is.
People will post like once a week or every 10 days. Like that is not cutting it. That's not.
I know. Yes, Mom.
I'm saying it in love, but it's true, right, Melissa?
It is. It is absolutely true. And so, yes, we all need to work on that and do better. Okay, next, follow up with one current customer. Just, you know who your customers are, just check in. Don't check in the first time or the second time and then forget about them. Just keep checking in, but not in an annoying way. You all know, use common sense. All right, and the last but not least one is a three-way chat or a three-way call. And y'all, those are so powerful. Y'all, I know you do them, right? Shake your heads if you're doing three-way chats. Yes, everybody's doing them. Good. Let me see. Cheryl, Carol, Amber, you all do three-way calls. Heather.
Yes, we're trying to do it more and more. I have some girls that are doing it a lot, and it's been amazing. Like big results for sure. So
yes, it does. And I've got people joining my team now. And they're like, well, we did a three-way call 6 months ago. Do you remember I was the one that such and such? And I'm like, 6 months ago, really? And when they message me, I see this old conversation, you know. But the neat thing is that they really do work. And this is a relationship business, and three-way calls and chats are a great way to begin those relationships. And I tell my new people, like Nicole, my advice to you is to play dumb. And you and your upline, just say, I'm new, I don't know, but let's get
Amber.
Who's your upline? Amber. Let's get Amber on the phone. She's been in the company longer than me. She knows it all. She's really good at this. We'll get her in, and we can get all these questions answered for you. Do that for your first year. Play dumb as long as you can until you just can't play dumb anymore.
Did you just say for the first year?
I did.
I love you. Yeah. Now, you know what? In the beginning, we didn't do that at all. Like, Amber's been with me from the beginning. She was my third ambassador. And Lori Dorwart's on here too. She joined me early on too. And we really didn't do a lot of that at all. And now we're starting to. And I think you're right. It makes all the difference in the world. So I'm glad you that point. Yeah.
It's very hard for me because I'm a know-it-all. I want to know it all. I know, I've done 5 years of research on this stuff. I know this stuff, but I'm telling you, anytime you can bring somebody else into the conversation, and really connect with people that way, you're gonna grow your business. So it's just very effective.
Part of it too is not so much even just your upline knowing answers, but the upline telling their story can be very impactful. Yes. And that can help them just personalize it more, and it's third-party validation. So
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
So that is my Action Stack training. Y'all are all officially Action Stack trained. And so here's what happened. I did this in February, and I'm like, this is really working. I need to share this because I just needed something to go by because I felt lost. So I made this piece of paper because I like paper, and I started just doing this Action Stack. And it worked so well for me in February, I decided to go into my team page and say, okay, I'm doing something new. If you would like to join up with me, and let's do this. And 40 people in my downline raised their hands. So I put them all in this 90 days of action group. That's what I called it. And those 40 people started working that Action Stack. And some of them the majority of them were kind of new or had been around for a while, and they were selling products, but they weren't really growing their teams or anything. And just about every one of them have at least gone silver. Some are working toward gold. And it's just been, and so the action stack became part of our team culture. So the minute somebody would sign up, we gave them the document, we gave them the audio training, because the audio training is all the stuff I just told you. That's all it is, like a 30-minute audio of everything I just told you. Long and drawn out. I need to shorten it. But the point is that became the culture of, here's what we do. We do the action stack. So here it is. Listen to this. Tell me what you think, whether or not you think this is easy enough, this is something you can do, and we'll get you going. And so, and building that list, determining their why, building that first list, and then getting started on the action stack is how we were training our new people. And my downline just exploded because of that. And that is the thing that helped me go Emerald, is this simple piece of paper. I truly believe it. And not only that, but the leaders, James Phillips and Derek Nelson, that are my downline, I have a lot of leaders that embraced it and promoted it to their downlines, especially the older people. And the people who'd been in longer, they started doing it and just promoting it to their teams. And like I said, it's just been, that was what did it. That was what helped me go Emerald, was the action stack.
I think that's really great. I mean, I think part of it probably started with, you taking your family to Leaders Retreat and just seeing potential, and that memory. And I love how you got home and told them, here's the whiteboard, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this as a family, I think is what you said at convention. And I really liked that too, because you have to have your family on board. I think that's a big part of it. And then just being more organized. I mean, you found a system that worked, and I'm really glad that you shared that with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Getting your family on board that was a big deal, because, they want things. And so we made a list of, you need braces, and you're wanting a big wedding, and and so I just got them to figure out what their why was. Why do I need to help Mom go Emerald? And so that was good. It was effective.
Very good. Well, I'm going to open it up to questions in the last, 10 minutes or so. If anybody has questions to ask Melissa, fire away. Just take yourself off mute. I can try to wave if you need help getting off mute.
How do we get a copy of that action stack?
Rebecca will send it to you. Do you have it, Rebecca?
I don't know. I only looked for a few minutes, but so maybe you can send it to me, or I can look in the...
I'll send it to you through Messenger. It's just a simple PDF file.
Okay.
And I'll forward it to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love it too.
Yeah, I'll just post it on the page, on our team page. She'll send it to me. Yeah.
And Rebecca, what I would do if I were you is I'll send you my audio training. Mm-hmm. It would probably be better if this is something you want to do with your team, and if you think it would be helpful for your new people. And listen, I send this to prospects. They're like, well, how do you work your business? Well, here's what I do. And I send them the audio training. Listen to this and tell me if this is something you think you could do. And they listen and they're like, well, this is so easy. I mean, who can't friend 3 people every day, and who can't wish people a happy birthday every day, and who can't say, hey, I'm doing Plexus? Who can't do that every day? And so it empowers them before they even join the company. They already join knowing what we're going to do every day. And so, but what I would recommend you do is listen to my action stack training, and then record your own for your own team in your voice, with your thoughts, your ideas, your opinions, because you might not agree with everything that I say. I don't like sending people links, because when you send somebody a link, it ends the conversation. It's very hard to get that conversation going again once they've clicked away. Sometimes you do, but not always. 9 times out of 10, they're gone. Mm-hmm. And you might conversation back. So that's why I'm not big on links. I give my website link out when they're ready to click on shop or join.
Yes.
That's when I give my website link out. So
Completely agree with that too. Awesome.
What I have a question. What do you think was the thing that kind of, there might not be just one, but what was it, the biggest thing that kind of got you feeling stuck? Was there a specific thing that was going on, whether it was posting or just following up?
Oh, no. It was all right here. It was mindset as far as not thinking that I deserved it, not thinking that I was a credible leader, not thinking I was pretty enough to be on stage with all those gorgeous women. I got a long list, girl.
Well,
it was my mindset and my fear. I was terrified of getting on stage. I was terrified of being asked to train people or do something didn't think I could do. And but I didn't die, and so you won't either.
Was it, I understand the mindset because sometimes it's up and down for me too. Was there anything like anything from the stack that might have been a bump for you in the beginning that might be easier for you now? Or were you pretty good with?
Probably contacting new people. That's hard for everybody. And if you'll notice on this action stack, or you'll see it whenever you see it, you'll notice there's no go watch this training video, go read this book, go learn about this product, or go watch Sonia's training or whatever. There's none of that. And the reason why is because everybody does that first and they never get around to the hard stuff. The hard stuff is contacting new people every day. And so we all do, I do, not y'all, me. I do everything I can before I have to contact those new people, because that's the hardest part for me, is reaching out to the new people. And so I had to this action stack's been redone 4 times. I had to take off the training videos. I had to take off all that stuff that I prefer to do. I just watch Sonia Dudley on YouTube all day long, or all these other wonderful ladies who do wonderful videos and train, and they've got all these great ideas. Where the rubber meets the road, tossing all ideas aside, and even this is an idea. If you don't want to do anything on that action stack, do one thing, and that's contact 5 new people every single day. That is the number one thing, is to continue to tell new people. And when you run out of new people, you got to go find new people. So that's why we're friending people along the way too, is because we've got to make new friends. And there will come a time where your friend list is full. Some of you may already have 5,000 friends. And I have a guy, he's like, I can't get past the B's when I scroll through my friends list to make my list. And what I told him, here's what he told me he's doing to build his friends list or build his prospect list. And that is, when they have a birthday, their name goes on the prospect list, because it's just a random way to pull people up. Plus, when he goes to their timeline to wish them happy birthday, it can sometimes start a conversation. And so it's just renewing that friendship. And the birthday, everybody wants to feel special. Everybody wants to.
When you wish people happy birthday, do you do it on their timeline, or do you do it in Messenger?
There's a place where you can do them all at one time.
Oh, yeah. I just wondered if you personally message them, or do you put it on the timeline? What do you do?
I actually been putting it on their timeline, but I think that going to Messenger, I think maybe doing both might be the thing. I don't know. And that's a great point. I've never messaged them. Does anybody else message people on their birthdays privately?
No, I just do it on the timeline. Like you said, it'll pull down all 5 of them or whatever, and I just go boom, boom.
Yeah.
And if I know them pretty well, I'll put like a cute little graphic or something too.
Right.
I've never done the message thing, but Amber, I think you've touched on a good idea. I mean, if it's somebody that you really want on your team or somebody that you have a relationship with already, I think it would be a good idea to do both. But if it's somebody that you really don't know, then maybe just putting it on their timeline, because by doing that, putting it on the timeline, they're going to see your post now, and you know what I mean? You're going to start to build a little bit of a relationship. So I've always just done it on the timeline, but that's not a bad idea to go do it Messenger too.
I agree. And if it's somebody you're really close with, that like their phone number's in your phone, text them too. Say, hey, I know I posted on your wall, but I just want to let you know personally that, I love you and I just want to wish you a happy birthday. So I think thank you for sharing, for asking that, because that's something we can all kind of, do on a case-by-case basis. It's only, I don't know about you, but some days it's 2, some days it's 10, but it's never anything that really requires a whole lot of time. And, we are in the business of making people feel good and building relationships. So I think that is one of the most important things we do.
Anyone else have any more questions? Trying to think if I have any. I think I'm out of questions. You covered that so well. You really did. Just want to thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Very welcome.
Very inspiring story, and the tips were awesome. So we appreciate having you so much.
Thank you for asking me. I'm honored to be here. And I'm not the greatest speaker. I'm not the greatest trainer. I just know that this has worked for me. And listen, if you've been stuck for a while, and some of you have maybe, just don't quit. That's my message. Just don't quit, because you never know when a Derek Nelson is going to come along, or a James Phillips. Do y'all all know who I'm talking about when I say James Phillips? Shake your head, yes or no. No, good. That's all, none of you do. Okay, he's the guy that I signed up in August of 2011. This will give you hope. He sat in my downline for 3 years and did nothing. In 2014, he started drinking a closet. He had a closet full of Plexus. He started drinking it and giving it away because he'd been getting auto ships for 3 years, never touching the product. Finally got him on the product. And I mean, he's one of those dream people. We just get that auto ship every month. Finally got him to take the product, and he loves it. And so my husband invited him to room with him at convention in 2014. And that is when he got his vision. And so from 2011 to 2014, he didn't do anything. And now he'll be going Emerald in the next couple of months, probably, hope, Lord willing.
I just found his cowboy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a cowboy.
That's
yep,
awesome.
he is.
We see your Ruby.
And then, yeah. So never give up on anybody. And even if somebody turns off their auto ship, and your friends, do not let anything that happens in Plexus ruin that friendship, because the relationship is so much more important than the business. And sometimes we love them back into the business as well. So just always keep the relationships that you have with people top of mind.
I think that's a really good point, because you've had the years of experience. You've been with Plexus now 5 years, right? 5 years and a couple months. Mm-hmm. And so you've seen people come and come back, go and come back. And so I think that's very encouraging, because, people do drop off, but they might come back. I mean, I've even in my short amount of time, 19 months, I've seen, people that were a customer that quit, that came back as an ambassador, or ambassadors that come back on that you thought never would. And so you're right, over the span of years, you definitely don't ever want to quit, because you never know who might just come back when you least expect it. And they might be like your guy that you're talking about, it's taken off and done really well. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome.
Exactly. Well, thank you, ladies, for letting me join in with you tonight. And you're a great audience, and I got some ideas from you. Thank you, Amber.
All right. I'm going to take a picture of us, because this was just so fun having you on. Oh, hang on, I got a little. All right, I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks so much, Melissa.